Howdy, everybody. It's another day of writing. Um, it might just be me today. Fridays are kind of tough. People are wrapping up and getting ready for work stuff, or wrapping up their work stuff so that they can have a enjoyable weekend. I got up kind of early to take care of a lot of my day job duties. Um, but of course, you're still you're still getting emails all day long, so that's good. But I am going to be doing quite a bit of sprinting today. Um, I'm in a Discord server with a whole bunch of other authors, and so we run sprints together. And basically, it's a community activity where normally, if you're sitting at your um, if you're sitting at your laptop, it's just you by yourself writing, which, don't get me wrong, is super cathartic all on its own. But this is kind of nice in the fact that you're like, oh, there's other people that I'm working with. It's almost like having a shared office space, except it's all virtual. So that's been kind of nice. So, and it looks like my dear friend Tammy here is going to be a slave driver today. She's not giving us much breaks in between sprints. So my goal is to hit 2,000 words. I'm in a spot in my story where it's kind of flowing, and I think I know where I'm going with it. Um, my world is branching out, and weirdly enough, something that's happening in my prequel novels is happening in my serial novel way into the future. So there's some really cool like integrated things that are happening. Um, so I'm digging that. Um, and then later today, I have to do like all the not glorious writing stuff. Like I have some Facebook ads that have to go out. I booked some promotions for a book sale for next week. Just getting getting my ducks in a row, for a big sale that's coming. Um, I'm talking to Trish. She's doing some admin stuff right now. So while writing is like this solitary, lonely thing, it really isn't. We're always kind of gabbing and working as a collective. Um, Today I'm going to be I'm feeling some epic music today. I don't quite know what. I listen to a lot of like trailer music. It's called Epica. Um, it just dials up emotion quite well. So I'm going to be doing a sprint from 12:15 to 12:35. So I need to get ready and go get my sprint on. Before Miranda or Teeny start yelling at me. All right, I'll be back in 20, guys. Good luck. Not bad. 407 words. I got a little bit distracted because I am actually coordinating a Instagram Live with Max Bowen for Citywide Blackout. It looks like I'm going to be on his show on Monday. Let me just make sure I put in the correct date. Yep. Okay. So I'm going to be on that on Monday. I've been on his show twice before. Max is an awesome dude who is super geeky and just loves artists and any sort of creator. So that's always really fun. And he's just kind of a little bit of a crazy dude. So we have way too much fun. I'm always sad when the interview's over. Last time I did it, I went to his radio station, and it was just a bizarre experience because I was on a radio station, and like, like professional mics and, all this stuff. It was kind of cool. I really enjoyed it. Howdy, Chris. How's it going? Glad to see someone is here. If you want, Chris, you can come join me on the live chat. You might be working, but I always like to guilt people. So what I've been trying to do is, this writing thing is going really good, and I have a trilogy that's about to get wrapped up and all of that stuff. So I've been looking to do marketing stuff behind the scenes, and a lot of the marketing is not really for me per se. Like, I mean, it'll benefit me, but I'm mostly doing it because I want to talk about the superhero fiction and superhero authors in general. And I really just love the team of people that we've been working with. They're fun, they're cool, they're a good time. So poor work. Chris is stuck at work. Wah wah. So yeah, it just trying to get more eyes on superhero fiction, and the genre just needs as much attention as it can get. So I am more than happy to be a whore. So I'm gonna check in really quick and just, let's see, no one is setting up a new sprint. Let's see, we're gonna do this at 45. I got 407 words, so I'm doing pretty good. I'm introducing some new characters really late in the series, and I don't generally like doing that. Washing machine. I don't even remember what it's like to do laundry. I wear so little that it takes a month to fill up the washing machine. My dishwasher, however, if it wasn't brand new, like, I would be concerned at the amount of dishes I've been doing lately. It's a little out of control. But that's been kind of the only real thing I've been using lately. I do cook a lot lately. Mostly it's I've been getting like the chef meals in a box thing just to help mix up my typical repertoire, and it's been kind of fun. Yesterday I had the most amazing barbecue tacos. Oh, that's actually really good to hear. I'm kind of happy to. I don't know if, like, I think I introduced them too late, maybe in this book. I think the starting point of this book, I might have started too far into the past. I think I needed to cut through the first like 3 chapters, and then I think things will flow better, which is fine. The beginning of this book was a little bit of an experiment. But my main character, who is kind of motivated because of her fiance and trying to save him, there's a new love interest that happened while I was very drunk last night. So apparently, Drunken Jeremy wants a little bit of romance in his books. So that kind of came out of left field, but it did kind of tell me where this novel is going to wrap up. The perk of having a psychic is she knows the end of the book before you do. So that part's good. The it's just it's a little crazy. Writing psychics is probably one of the hardest things, I think, mostly because they can see the future, and as of right now, my future is predetermined and it's unable to be altered. So some people have got, yeah, Chris, I think that's exactly what's happening here. Is it's almost kind of a ex machina, like, oh, the token educated person is going to come in and explain the plot line. I think that needs to be ironed out a little bit. I think it's a little too a by the way situation. So I think that will help clear things up a bit. I am going to put a random link into the chat. For anyone who is interested, we are going to be doing our 5 nights of panels in a week. Yep, it starts on the 18th and it goes from the 18th to the 22nd. We have 5 awesome panels happening. I'm super stoked about this because I'm running like the tech side of stuff, and I'm moderating 2 of them. But it's superhero romances, creating the power behind supers, the not so nice anti-hero, and superheroes on screen, and last but not least, the origins of a superhero. So we have, I believe, 19, maybe 20 authors involved now. It's just going to be a super, no pun intended, I guess. It's going to be a fun time. I'm really looking forward to getting to know other authors in the genre and just hearing their perspectives. And I think it'll be a good, as I get ready for the next series, it'll help give me some insight onto things that are working and not working. Oh yeah, Chris, there are a long list of powers that I absolutely refuse to incorporate. Psychics, there is one. There is only one in my entire universe. And I'm writing her right now, and her powers are, we know they get like super powerful later, but right now I've dwarfed her to the point where she can only see very specific things. The other one that I really don't like is, so in my world, there are 2 types of powers. There are mentalists, which are like telepathy, telekinesis, and those people have been around since the dawn of time. They've existed in humanity. They're just humans with these gifts. It's unexplainable. People fear them because science can't wrap its head around them. And then later on in the series, in 2012, when the Mayan calendar said the end of the world was coming, people started developing like powers, like what we expect from superpowers. And I have in my first series someone with dense skin, someone that can hurl lightning, but I do kind of explain it scientifically. It's a little, don't go too deep into my science. Someone who can create plasma, someone with muscle memory. There's someone who can modulate the frequency of their voice. There's just a dude who's blue, nothing else. He has blue pigment. So I try to keep it pretty varied, but my main character in that series is a teleporter, and his power is literally opening a black hole. So he is my Superman character that can't quite be explained. And I had to really like keep his powers metered, or he would have just been invincible. So um, I kind of looked to nature. Like the electric eel gave me the electricity. The muscle memory is from Rats in the Maze, like stuff like that. So, oh, head cases. I like that. Um, I think it's kind of cool to split them up because, you know, there was a stint where the X-Men really questioned Professor Xavier, and they're like, dude, you've been controlling us our whole lives. And I don't know how far that plot went, but the X-Men, Cyclops and specifically, was like, everything we've done, we've been doing against our will, and we just never knew it. And mentalists are that scary, they can control you without you ever being aware, and that's why they're kind of like the terrifying group. Whereas the superpowered people all have limitations, and I can hurl lightning for a little while, but then when my internal battery is dead, it's dead. So um yeah, Chris, I have someone who spits acid, because there's a lizard that spits acid, and I was like, let's just go with what science has already figured out for us. Spiders, the tensile strength, the I haven't quite made someone with multiple arms yet, but it's quite possible it's going to happen soon. Um, yeah, Chris, that's actually what happens in my first series. The villain is actually a telepath, and come to find out, he's not just a telepath, but he also got a superpower along with his telepathy. And so there's only two of these hybrid people that I've ever explored. Um, but he was definitely of the mind of, because I can, I should. And he basically just saw the world as another way to test his power and prove that he was better than everyone in like a god complex kind of way. And I kind of hint that his powers drove him mad, but I kind of left it open for, the powers drive him mad, or was he mad using his powers? So yeah, I mean, if you could hear everyone's thoughts, I think that would drive anyone crazy. All right, I'm gonna hop into a sprint late because I'm that dude. Even by myself, I talk too much. Okay, I'll be back at 1:05. Chris, get some writing done. All right. 621 words. Woo! I definitely think that I went over the writing time. Just the bot in this channel is just super frustrating. Okay, so I'm going to do another one at 20. So I got 9 minutes. Up to 10:28. So that's half my word count for the day. Not shabby. I could do better. Later on, I have to do like some Facebook ads and just some general, like, admin task stuff. So that's going to kind of keep me busy for the afternoon. 262, that's still pretty good. That's kind of what my average has been lately. I feel I'm in a spot in the story that now I have to think about things that have happened, things that will happen. And like I'm used to writing, like if I write my serial, I know exactly what that chapter is about, and I can do like 800, 900 words a minute. But on this story, like 200 to 400 per 20 minutes is about my norm. Sometimes I get into a groove, like this scene has a lot of dialogue, so it's kind of flowing quickly. But I think the more complicated the story, or maybe as you learn as an author and you become better at what you do, you start thinking of like, oh, well, this line would flow better this way, or I've used this word too many times. I'm going to chalk it up to that I'm now a fantastic writer that has to take his time crafting words. Or perhaps I just don't drink enough coffee. There's some new people poking their heads in. I need to confirm a podcast for tonight. Oh, 400. I think 400 is kind of my happy spot. It's Chris was saying the 20-minute sprints are about 400. And you know what? That's the 20 minutes on, 10 minutes off, that's 800 words a minute. And maybe you could stretch yourself a little and you get to 1,000. That's half what I want to write every day. And I'm only doing 2 hours a day right now, and it's just because I have so many other things going on. When I'm done with this, I have to do some advertising, I have to grade college, have to grade some high school stuff. So like life is still happening, but I would like to get back to having 3 dedicated hours of writing a day, which I think what I might start doing is I might start setting up like a to-do list of tiny tasks. So 20 minutes on, 10-minute other task, 20 minutes on, 10 other tasks. Because some of the tasks are just verify that this price has been changed on a book. Okay, that doesn't take any time. Or just reach out to a podcaster to confirm time, or just stuff like that, or respond to a reader email. Those type of tasks are what I find to be difficult because you're task switching, and I don't task switch very well. But I think if I used that in my 10 minutes off, then I wouldn't feel to have a whole separate, because when I'm done with this downstairs, make lunch, and while lunch is cooking, I'll prep a whole new like whatever my tasks are for the day, basically. There's other people that are, we've now kind of turned everything into a sprint task, which I'm almost kind of wondering what this is doing to our mental status. Working on a website, 20-minute sprints. Doing work for whatever, 20-minute sprints. And it's funny because we have proof in education. So I'm a high school teacher and a college professor, and we have so much evidence that shows in an hour-long class, students only learn in the first and last 20 minutes. And that 20 minutes is kind of just gray area of transition, brain not functioning. And so I really do think that this is called the Pomodoro technique. And I think it definitely helps you maintain focus, because on those 10 minutes off, on that 10-minute, I can check Facebook, I can do social media, I should do some social media posts too. Okay. People talking about websites at work. If you want to see more of my stuff, like my actual work and not just me talking, you can always go to childrenofnostradamus.com. Children of Nostradamus. I have a serial that goes up there on Fridays. I'm kind of prepping stuff for a potential RPG down the road. I'm just kind of just doing what I do. I really want to work on an art book this weekend, I think, for readers, just as kind of a fun side project. I've been enjoying doing graphic design work instead of writing. So, yay, doing graphics for an actual cause to get more readers. So yeah, that's kind of been a big thing. And then I have to get ready for a sales promotion next week. So my first book in my series will be 99 cents. Woot! I'll post a link to the website with all of those in it for next week. Talking about superhero RPGs. I kind of wish that once upon a time I had played the superhero open, the Why Christopher Kingery. Yes, my books are in KU. And whatever makes your life easier. All my books are in KU, and I just released a box set. There's no additional material in it, but it's all in one. Woot! Chris, you'll have to shoot me a link to one of your books. I don't think I have one of yours. I might have to check. I download a lot of superhero books. My to read pile is forever. The downside of being a college professor is the copious amounts of reading I have to do for that almost take away from my pleasure reading. So my pleasure reading has been almost strictly comic books because I can handle that. It took me 3 nights of reading to finish one comic book, which should not happen. But last week I read almost 400 pages of college creative writing for young adult. It was mostly good. All right, I'm going to hop into another sprint. If you're out there in the universe, go ahead and leave comments. I'm watching them as I write because I guess it inflates my ego. I don't know. All right, I'll be back in a few. Woot! 340 words this time. It was kind of low because I wrapped up a scene, and I wasn't quite sure how I wanted to wrap it up or how much detail I wanted to go into. We're into the third book. I didn't. My protagonist is telling her story up to this point, and I needed a couple key details sprinkled in there, but I didn't want to basically rewrite books. So that took some finagling. And now my heroine is back in the city where the action happens. She's been spending some time in Boston getting to know 450 for Chris. You smoked me this time. Consider me jealous. I probably have one more sprint in me for the moment, which should maybe, if I go balls to the wall, can get my 2,000 words in. But 1,368 so far today, which, is nothing to scoff at. My goal right now is my daily average is at 1293 per day, and I'm trying to get that up to. Oh, something happened to my word list. It's at 1293, and I want to get it up to 1300, because if I write an average of 1300 words a day, that winds up being 474,000 words this year, which is a lot of books. So will I get there? I don't know. That's very ambitious even for me. We're currently talking about getting superhero authors together to do interviews. Trish and I are toying with ideas of getting more traffic and stuff like that. So hopefully in the not too distant future, we're going to be doing author interviews on our YouTube channel for the superhero genre. So we're kind of excited about that. We're kind of testing the waters to see who might be interested, because people are scared to be on camera. Whereas, I just do this every day because what else do I have going on? Let's see. Yeah, 474,000 words a year. When you start to break it down into like your daily averages, it seems so much more manageable. 1,200 words or 1,300 words a day on average. So, and I take some days off here and there. I try not to, but life happens. But when you factor out like 474,000 words, that's 4 beefy novels. And my novels are currently averaging about 70,000 words right now. So that's almost 6 novels. Wow. If I did that, that would be a novel every other month, which is terrifying. Chris is, I find this super interesting. Chris is wrapping up his chapter 1, and he runs a local critique group, and you have a video call meeting. How do you feel that that's working for you? Like, is not even the video aspect of it, I guess, just a critique group in general. Do you find that you're getting a lot of useful information, or not useful information, new information, or is it stuff that you already suspect and they're either confirming it or kind of nudging you in the right direction? My writing group is just we show up at Panera and you just hear us clacking away at the keyboard, and we talk, about life and whatnot. But for the most part, it's a writing group, not a critique group. Though occasionally we'll ask questions. So, and then I've always been more than happy to be on camera. I just don't have anything to say worth hearing sometimes. So that's a little weird. But for the most part, this works out because I get like breaks from talking, and it's not just me like rambling on forever and a day. Though occasionally it feels that way. Trying to see. Oh, that's good to hear then. I the speed that I'm working at right now, this this is going to sound partly ego and partly just stubbornness, I guess. I don't have the time to get critiqued and go back. Um, but while I am writing, I'll ask questions. Like I'll message someone. I had to have a character propose to another character, which is not a good situation that they're in right now. And I needed to make sure that my logic of what I was doing held up. And so while I was writing it, I sent some messages to people and I was like, hey, I have this idea, but does this sound convincing or does it just sound like the character's doing something random? So I do that kind of on the fly, but nothing formal because going backwards is really difficult. My editor actually does that pretty well. She'll chew me out for stuff very frequently and say, your character shouldn't be doing this. Yeah. So this is authors always get the advice the best thing that you can do for your own writing is to read. That's awesome. I'm a writer. I don't have time to read, but I am a college professor, so I have to read student work. And I notice a lot of the time that I'll critique something on a student and I'm like, wow, I do the same thing. So let me make a mental like note card for that. And I need to make sure I'm not doing the same thing anymore because it obviously isn't working for the student. And now having that distance brings some clarity. So it's definitely been wonderful being a professor because I think reading other people's work and critiquing them has made me such a better writer. I know very much what I do like, what I don't like, what readers might like, what readers won't like. That has been invaluable across the board. So it's kind of funny in the weird way that I'm a college professor, but I feel like I'm getting more out of the class than some of the students in that regard. Um, yeah, I Chris is saying that he submits early chapters, and I 100% agree. Especially when you're in the concept phase. Sometimes you just need to ask, like, is this concept good? Um, I've definitely written. I have some books on my shelf over here that they were fun writing, but they're bad. They're so bad. I will never, ever, ever publish them. Um, just because I can't even justify how horrible they are. So definitely in the beginning stages, I think feedback is always helpful. And sometimes you just need to hear your idea is good. Um, okay, gonna hop into the last critique or the critique. Now it's on my mind. Thanks, Chris. I'm gonna hop into the last sprint for the day. 20 minutes. Let's see if I can get over 400 words. Woo! All right. Oh, apparently my sprint's still going for another minute, but I guess I'll just clack away a few more words. Woot. 713 words. Not too shabby. So far I've written 2,081 words this time, and I've been going for 2 hours and 2 minutes. So I can do about 1,000 words an hour. The problem is not so much the speed of the typing, it's the longevity and kind of being able to keep it going for the long haul. I definitely need break after about 2 hours. Boot, I beat Chris this time. He had 436. Yeah, the sprint thing has been the lifesaver of my writing. I'm currently on this particular novel. I'm at 26,800 words, so I'm approaching the midpoint of the first draft. Oh, 1,162. That's pretty good for the day. I've kind of, when I've been hitting 1,200, I'm like, okay, if this is where I end, I need to walk away satisfied. Otherwise, I'll drive myself crazy because I'm competitive with myself. So let's see what my week looks like. This week I have written 8,000 words. I definitely want to get that up. So I'll probably do a little bit of writing before I go to bed tonight. But I'm going to stop there. We're going to come back on Monday. We'll be here again. Oh, actually, Chris has got a question. How long do my novels usually wind up being? So here's my first novel in my superhero series was 80,000, and it grew to the last novel was 120,000. And the reason it was so long is because I had 6 point of view characters. And so to wrap up, like even the epilogue wound up being like 4,000 words because I had to do kind of an epilogue for each person. This one is written in first person and it's only with one character. So right now my first drafts are ending about 60 to 65,000, and my goal is to get them kind of beefed up to about 70 to 75,000. My reason for this is because I can write shorter, faster. And with this limited POV, it lets me tell the full story of that particular character. Oh, poor Chris might not be around next week. That's not fun. Tight deadlines for work. I'm saying that, but I have like 3 hours of grading I have to go start now. Because I'm going to be on a podcast later today with the Right Away podcast. And we're going to be talking about our goals of what writing will allow us to potentially do with our lives. So I'm kind of looking forward to it because it sounds very kind of hopes and dreams. And I definitely have, like, you know, great dreams happening. So, but yeah, that's why I keep my novels shorter. I think at 70,000, asking $2.99, $3.99 is a fair price. And it tells the full story. The ensemble cast just required more, and so I charge $4.99 for those normally. So I don't quite agree with length sets price, but I do want my reader to feel like they're getting a good deal for how many hours it takes them to read a book. So the downside with writing 70,000 word novels is no one wants a 70,000 word audiobook. They want longer. So what I might do for this is I might take all 3 books and make them into one audiobook. I have to talk to my narrator about that and see what she's feeling. But in the meantime, I'm going to let you guys go. Hope you have a good weekend. I hope it's productive. I hope you get a lot of stuff done. And next week, I should be back with Trish, Franklin, trying to get some other people in here. Krista is going to be coming back. So it should be fun. And have a great weekend, guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.